Good morning, everybody. This is Diana. I'm going to just show you how you're going to center your hoops for using the Durkee hoops and everything. You turn on your machine, and then once you've got it on and up and running, you hit the little center button here, and that will center your machine. So this is going to be the center point of the machine. If you're going to be using the Durkee hoops, for the 9x9, you're not going to be able to push, if you have a shirt or anything, you're not going to be able to put the hoop on there to where it needs to go. It needs to go all the way up here in order to get to that center mark. Well, you can't do that. So make sure you put it in the second hole here. So if you're going to do like this little dog that I digitized and I've sewn out, and you need it in the center of the hoop, you can go ahead and center it to the marks here. I have always made a center mark up a bit. That would be the center of the MB4. If you put that down and put a ruler up here, this is going to be the center of the MB4, and it's going to change the center on this hoop. But if you're using a 5x7 design, you can go ahead and center to here. This little black mark right here in the center is the center of my hoop. But it's not the center of the MB4. So if I put my little design in there, you can see it is off. But you can move your machine. This is now the center of this hoop and the machine. And then you can do a trace, and it's going to fit in this hoop just like this. Your 9x9 will sew up to like I can get a design in there with the name and the design and everything, and I can sew up to a 7.5 by 7.5, but you cannot do a trace on it because this machine will not do an actual trace. It does a outline box trace, so your needle will hit your hoop. So keep that in mind. This does not do a full concise trace. It only will do the outermost part of a design. As you can see, this is printed out. This is a 5x7 frame, and it will trace this part. It will trace the size of the dog plus about a 1/2 inch. So now that this is in the center, you can go ahead and sew this design if you're centered, but you have to keep in mind that these are going to go in this top hole for this hoop. For the 6x6 Durkee hoop, it will go right on in there to where it needs to be. And if I center this again, this center of the hoop is the center of the MB4. So this is a smaller hoop, so when you put it in here and put it in here correctly all the way to the end here, your center is proper. I would still keep this set at I would set this on the M2 because it's going to be a the M2 is the 4x5, so I would set that at the 4x5, because if you put something in here, the machine is going to recognize the M2 hoop anyway. It's already centered, so you could do your trace in there. For the 5x9 Durkee hoop that goes this direction, I use this one for onesies and stuff. Again, this is just like the 9x9. Your center is going to be off. This is going to be the center of the MB4 for this hoop. But if you put your, again, like if you put your design in here, this will basically fit almost. Move the machine down to meet your center mark. So move your machine down to your center mark of the hoop, then do your trace, and then you can go ahead and sew. Now for the Durkee hoop that is the 6x12, this one, again, you can put it all the way on the machine. So its center is going to basically match up with the center of the machine, like this, just like that. So all these that have the smaller hoop area, it's going to fit on the machine properly. Right. Same thing with the your easy frames. The easy frame will not fit all the way up in there. You have to put it on this second little hole here. So when you put your frames in, you will have to readjust your machine in order to get to the center mark. This is at the center. This is the center of the machine. Right here is the center of this hoop, which is back here. So again, you will have to move the machine back and forth, whoops, why is it to match up with your center. But then again, make sure you do a trace. And that's for any of the frames that will go on here. You just have to make sure you move your center point. You can't just put it on there and say, oh, this is the center, and so trace, trace, trace. That's the only safe thing to do, is to do a trace. And like I said, if I'm in doubt, I always print out a sheet to show me the exact size. This is the exact size of my dog. So if I put that on there, that's the exact size of my dog. And that's the center point of my dog. So I would put this on whatever it is I'm going to sew it on. Make sure where I want to put it, and then make sure you've got it centered into your hoop and move it, and that's the way. So I have to apologize for the people I have told to make a new center mark on your hoops for your 9x9, because your design will fit in there. Even though you've moved your center mark, move the machine to the center of the hoop. It's still only going to fit a design as big as your M1 hoop. So you can see that the Durkee hoop is just a little bit bigger than the M1, but the sew area is the same, so you have to make sure you have that centered properly. I hope that clears up using different hoops with the MB4. I know I've had a lot of people ask about what needles to use. This is the needle that Janome recommends for this machine. Good needles, I've used them for years. But a lot of people, and myself included, have problems with it sewing and it not picking up the thread. Well, I got to looking at it one day and comparing the needles and things, and I noticed that on the Gross Beckett, you can use these needles in the MB4 or the MB7 or your Elna, whatever. You can use different needles for this machine, but you do have to make sure it is the round shank. As you can see, I don't know if it shows up on here or not. The one on my right here is the Gross Beckett needle, and I had posted on the on the Facebook there that the Gross Beckett, the shaft the scarf, excuse me, this is the shaft. The scarf of the Groesbeck is a little bit longer than the scarf of the Oregon needle. So it's actually giving it a little more room as the needle goes down and back up. It's giving the thread catcher a little longer, a little more room to catch the back of the thread so it won't pull out. So you might get you a few of the Groesbeck needles and try and see if it helps some of the thread not catching. I hope this video has helped. If you have any more questions, do not hesitate to contact me on Facebook or anything. So this is the end of this video, and I'll come back with some more videos soon. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, I have to make an addendum to this video I just made. I had stated you could do a 7.5 inch by 7.5 inch design in this hoop. You can, but not on the MB4 machine because of the offset of the center hole. Your max would probably be just a tad over 7 by 7. Sorry for the mix-up. Keep using them.